Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self-paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way.
Oh, yes, way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today, we would be discussing yesterday's problem of the day, that is, length of the longest subarray with positive product. So, hi, I'm Siddharth. Let's get started. So, I'm going to present my screen. Hi, Nakaj. Hi, Rishit. Hi, Abhishek Kumar. How are you? So, I would present the whole screen. So, basically, if you read the problem statement, the very first thing is, and the problem statement is a little bit small, but the thing is, there is a term associated with this problem set, which is that the problem statement contains the usage of subarray. So let us first understand what is basically a subarray. So subarray is, let me just show you what this is all about. Suppose we have the given array as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's suppose the subarray is 1, the subarray is 2, 3, the subarray is 4, 5, and the whole array is also a subarray. But these two are not subarrays. These two individually are subarrays, but they both as a combined entity is not a subarray. So we can say that a subarray is a contiguous part of the array. It can be the whole array itself. Subarray क्या होता है? Basically एक array का continuous part होता है. उसी को हम लोग subarray बोलते हैं. Okay, let's go back. So now we are given an array containing of n integers, and we need to find the length of the longest subarray with positive product. Okay, please remember this. This is not the positive sum, but positive product. So suppose, what are the different subarrays we have? We have the subarray 0, we have the subarray 1, we have the subarray minus 2, we have the subarray minus 3, we have the subarray minus 4. And we have the subarray as 0, 1. We have the subarray as 1 minus 2. We have the subarray as minus 2 minus 3. We have the subarray as minus 3 minus 4. Now, length 3. So we have the subarray as 0, 1, and minus 2. We have the subarray as 1, minus 2, minus 3. We have the subarray as minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And the whole array can also be a subarray. So 1, 0, sorry, 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3, and minus 4. Okay, fair enough. So this is not a subarray because it doesn't have a positive. Basically, it has a simple 0. So this is a positive value, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative. 0 and 1. The sum, the product of both is 0. The minus 1 into positive 1, minus 2 into positive 1 is negative, and this is positive. This is also positive. This is negative. This is positive. This is negative, and this is also negative. So now what are the numbers that are positive? So basically we have the positive numbers as this. Okay, any more positive? Yes. So the length of the longest one is this one with a length of 3. Okay, this is the length of this. So that is why 3 is the answer itself. Now if you see the solutions closely, okay, what are discarded and what are not discarded? So as you can see, if there are odd number of even numbers, then it is discarded. So I can say odd, even numbers are discarded. Okay. Then the very next thing is that if the number contains 0, see 0 is here, 0 is here, 0 is here, 0 is here, wherever 0 is present, it is disrupting the answer, because 0 multiplied to anything is 0 itself. So it is basically disrupting the answer, to be honest. That is why the condition is no even. Okay, so no odd, no zero should be present, and this should be basically no odd negative numbers. So odd negative numbers, as you can see, odd negative numbers can't be present, because it is because negative multiplied by negative and a negative would make it again negative. But if we have simply negative negative or negative negative positive, this would make it positive, this would make it positive. So basically, if we have positive negative elements, it would make it positive, but if we have odd number of negative elements, it would make it negative. And 0 is disrupting the answer, because 0 multiplied by negative 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 is 0 itself. That is why it is disrupting the answer. So these two are the condition that we can draw from the sample test case itself. We don't need to think much. From the sample test case itself, we can conclude that yes, these two conditions shouldn't be present. Am I clear with these two conditions or not? I just wrote all the subarrays possible. Then I discarded the subarrays which have a negative sum. Then I analyzed the positive product subarrays, okay, which I saw this, and I observed a pattern that the presence of odd negative numbers or a presence of 0 is disrupting the answer. So I can say that if 0 is not present and no odd negative numbers is present, then it is clear. So now tell me if these two conditions are clear from the test cases or not, and this should be intuitive. So tell me quickly. Hi Akash, hi Code with Rao. We need to keep a track of the first negative. We would talk about the solutions later. But first tell me that these conclusions are intuitive or not. First tell me all this. Does this conclusion should be intuitive? Okay. So now let us move forward. So now what we can say is that if we receive a 0 in our answer, okay, then we need to reset the answer. But what about the scenario when a odd negative number is present? When an odd negative number is present, suppose this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, negative, and this is positive, positive again, and suppose this is positive. Suppose we have this kind of thing. Then the presence of negative numbers is odd, 1, 2, 3. Okay, fair enough. And this is disrupting the answer. So suppose we have this big and length matters to us. Okay, the length of the array is the thing that we care. So if we are to remove the negative value, then we should remove basically this value. Why? Because it is the last negative value that we should remove. Why last negative value? Why not the middle negative value? Because if we remove the middle negative value, then the remaining length is small. If we remove the starting negative value, then this should be clear. But suppose if we remove this, then the remaining answer is very low. So we should always remove the last negative number. So now we can say that if we receive a 0, then we don't have any option, because the presence of 0 would disrupt the whole answer. So then we would reset the present answer. Okay, if we receive a negative value, and after that we have two conditions left. One is that the number of negative value is even, one is the number of negative value is odd. If it is even, then what we should do, we should compare and update the answer. Update the answer because it is negative, so 0 is not present because 0 means reset. So negative positive would only contribute to the answer, and even number of negatives would also contribute to the answer, so we would compare and update to the answer. But if it is odd, then what we should do, we should remove the first negative and then we should compare and update. So this is the most important step. Okay, so now let me just show you. Remove first negative and then again compare and update the answer. Then compare and update the answer. Okay, so now this is very simple. If it is 0, we know it would disrupt the whole answer. If it is negative, then those. An odd, remove the first negative because this was the most beneficial. And if we remove this part, then the remaining would be the maximum. So remove the first negative and then compare and update the answer. Translating the same in Hindi is that अगर जीरो आ गया, so जीरो को कुछ भी चीज से मल्टीप्लाई करो, वो जीरो ही हो जाएगा. तो हमारे पास और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, हमें फ्रेश स्टार्ट करना होगा. अगर नेगेटिव इवन बार है, दैट मीन्स नेगेटिव नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव हो रहा है, तो हमारे पास इसका मतलब इसका आउटपुट, क्योंकि हमारे जीरो पे तो रीसेट हो गया, जीरो रीसेट हो गया, नेगेटिव हमने देख लिया इवन है, तो पॉजिटिव जितना भी रहे हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव ही रहेगा. सो कंपेयर एंड पॉजिटिव, अगर हमारे पास अच्छा आंसर आया तो हम लोग उसको अपडेट करेंगे. अगर ऑड आया मतलब नेगेटिव नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव एंड देन अगेन नेगेटिव, सपोज ऐसा कुछ है, नेगेटिव नेगेटिव नेगेटिव, so these two would be positive, positive multiplied by negative is again negative, and then suppose we have again negative, so positive positive, this two is positive positive, and then again with this would make it negative. So if it is odd, we would remove the very first negative. Let me just show you this also. Suppose there are five negatives. Okay. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is five negatives. So what we should do is we should remove the very first negative. We should remove the very first negative because the remaining number of negative values is even and the multiplication of them would be positive. So we would remove the first negative. If we remove this negative, then the remaining length is very small. So in whatever scenario, if the number of negative is odd, then the remaining length would be the maximum. That is why we would remove the first negative and then compare and update the answer. Now we would simply iterate. We would keep all the variables. Okay, one for remembering the zero, one for remembering the number of even values, one for remembering the first negative values. And these three variables would solve the issue. We are only initializing variable and we are only iterating. The time complexity is comparing and all is constant. So we would just implement it and then we would talk about time complexity. So I would just move to the implementation and then you tell me if this thing is clear or not. Okay. So now I would stop the screen. Okay. Okay. Just tell me if we can clear this or not. Mm. Can we dry run this logic on a sample test case? Yes, absolutely. Why can't we? We can definitely dry run this on a sample test case. Okay, let us dry run this on a sample test case. So now see, let us take this value. Mhm. Okay, now suppose, see, so we have a 0. So first what we should do is we are sharing the tab itself. Yes. Okay, look at the comment of the day and just look at the comment of the day and give a feedback if any. Okay, okay, I would give a feedback. Please don't worry. I'm waiting for that. Okay, I have already seen that. And you are the person. Okay, so let me just see. Andrew Spurgeon. Yeah, Andrew Spurgeon. Okay, yeah. Just wait a sec. So first, please you do wait. Okay. So first, what we should do is we should initialize the answer with 0. Then we should initialize a negative with 0. Okay. And then the last 0 that we have encountered. Okay. It would be initialized with -1. That first we have still not seen a 0th value. Okay. Previous 0. And then the frequency of the negative is -1 initially. So now we would start the iteration for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. Okay, so now if it is a negative value, then we would increase the value of the negative. Okay, if first negative, that means that this is the negative value. First time we are seeing the negative value, then we need to update it. So we would say f negative value is equals to the value I itself. Okay, so this is the point we are first time seeing the negative value. Okay, after all this is done, we would say if a of I is equals to 0, that means we need to reset everything. So reset everything means what? F negative would be -1, then negative would be 0, except the answer. So we would paste everything here because we are resetting the value, but this time we don't reinitialize it. Okay, so reinitializing would give you an error. So I would just reset the value. Okay, after resetting the value, okay, I would see a else condition. Okay, at this point, if negative is even, that is on dividing by 2, it gives a remainder 0, then answer is equals to, we don't need to do anything, we just compare and update the answer. So answer comma the current value minus previous 0th value. Okay, we just update the answer. If this is not the scenario, that the number of negative values is odd, then answer is equals to max of answer comma I minus first negative value. First negative. Okay. And after all this, we would return the value of the answer itself. PV0. This should be 0. P0. We have a correct answer. Okay, let us see this. I int I is equals to 0. P0 is equals to F0 is equals to -1. We are iterating. If it is negative, negative plus plus, F negative is equals to, it be equals to I. If it is equals to 0, then F negative Okay, this thing. At this point zero is equals to I. Okay, this is the first time we are seeing the zero. We would update this also. And this should be done. बहुत खुशी होता है इस चीज से. Okay, so tell me the line number at which you are not able to understand. Now let's talk about the dry run also because someone was talking about the dry run. So let's suppose the value of the array is 0, okay, 1 minus 2. Okay, I need to type this 0, 1 minus 2 minus 3 and minus 4. At this point everything is, so first it is negative, so first it is 0, so negative won't increase. At this point p0, okay, p0 would be equal to I, that means p0 would be equal to 0 and f negative would remain the same and it won't come to the else condition. Sirf this condition would run. Next, it is a positive number. So at this point, f negative minus 1, okay, minus 1 modulo 2 is not equal to 0. So it would come at this point. Okay, then what is the value of I? Okay, I is equal to 1. 1 comma minus 1 is equals to 0. This won't run. So minus 2. At this point, we have this value. So negative would get increased by 1. Okay. After that, f negative, if it is equal to minus 1, then it would be equal to 0, 1, and 2. At this point, a of 0 is not, this won't run. F of negative is odd, so it would come at this position. Now, I minus f of negative. I minus f of negative. The current position is 2. 2 minus 2 is equals to 0. And the answer is still 0. So we won't update anything. Then we come across 3. It is a negative. So negative, the value of f negative would increase. Okay. The value of f negative, so this would be 1. The value of 0 plus 1, negative plus plus. Okay, negative plus plus, I just wrote the index. So f negative would become 2, increase. Okay, this won't run because it is not 0. This would run because the on f negative modulo 2 is equals to 0, so this would run. So answer is equals to I minus p0. So what is the value of I at this point? 0, 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay, this would be 3 minus p0 is 0, which is equals to 3. So now we have an answer as 3. Okay, we have an answer as 3. Now the next point, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so minus 4. So it is negative. So this value would become 3. Then this is not equal to 0, so this won't run. Now f negative modulo true. F negative modulo 2. This is not true. Okay, negative would increase and this won't happen. Okay, that is why the answer to this is 3. Last arbitrary answer. So now tell me if things are clear to you or not. B0 should be the current index of A of 0. Yes, absolutely, it's done. So now let's talk about the comment of the day. The comment of the day you have given is handwritten notes and you have taken a picture of it. And that was absolutely very commendable. To be honest, my implementations, my implementation is inspired by you, not copied by you, because I have already implemented it. And then I saw that I have used two more variables. I had to cut down two variable. Okay, after cutting down two variable, your problem and my problem was very akin to me. But your efforts, Andrews Spurgeon, your efforts were commendable. And the feedback to this would be that you continue doing this so that you have a deep understanding of problem. So when I started off doing problems 2 years ago, I was not this, like, I was not this till this level also. Okay. But after explaining people, I too had a deep understanding. So keep, just don't do it for anything in return. Just keep doing good, because somewhere out there your good deeds are being written. So don't see this as a return gift or something. Just keep doing it. And just, the only takeaway from this would be the knowledge which you are gaining out of it. Like if you have a deep knowledge of a particular problem, then a little bit deviation from that problem, you would be also able to solve it. So keep doing it. Okay, like let me just show you also, because it is commendable. Okay, so see the way he has taken the pictures of his notes and provided it, and it was absolutely commendable. The way he used multicolored, the way he is writing it, after writing he again had this. Okay, it is absolutely commendable. Voting the comment in front of everyone, and I would suggest you that you too also have voted, so that these all things could be more. Okay, this person, and still you are doing great and still looking for a way to improve yourself, is the most beneficial thing. Okay, just stay humble and grounded. Thank you so much. So that was it from my side. This is me, Siddharth, signing off. Good night, everyone. So if you're watching this stream in the recorded version, feel free to like and comment on the video so that the reach of this video could be increased. Thank you so much. You're most welcome, Andrew.